All right.
All right.
Live.
We are live once again. Episode 4, Tumbleton. I'm joined by not only my one co-star, David, but a new guest we haven't seen since March Madness of 2025 when he made his Dubcast debut. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show, Con. Yeah.
Thank you,
Sophomore
guys.
performance here.
Thank you for having me on.
So,
I'm excited.
Thank you.
So I want to start this off with two things. First thing is, Con, we got to get your thoughts on this season so far, since this is your first. We're halfway through the season. Overall takeaways from the first couple episodes: is it good? Is it bad? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think the show's been great. The season's been great. Season 2 was a little slow. I think the writers' strike and whatever. There was a lot going on with season 2 at the end there that made it kind of boring and it kind of dragged on. But season 3 is, I think, great so far, and I've been very excited every week to watch. So, and episodes 1 and 2 were both elite, and then I liked 3 as well, and then I'm sure we'll get into 4 here. But
yeah, well, that was gonna be my next question. So, someone I spoke to, I forget who it was, said that this was easily the worst episode, and we'll kick it to you, Haim. I feel like you're usually pretty positive about these episodes. Do you agree this was the slowest episode? And
yeah, I mean,
things still happen, but
definitely was the slowest. I think when I wrapped up the episode, I was like, oh, a little slow, but not worried. But then the more I've thought about the episode, the more it's grown on me. Honestly, I feel like it. There wasn't really a specific moment, but I like Ormond as a villain. Dare I say he was the secret sauce that I didn't know this show needed. So that's my takeaway.
What do you like about Ormond?
I thought he was gonna be a pretty lame villain. I thought they were just gonna have him be some cookie cutter, just takes over the stronghold, maybe kills a few people. But the religious side of him, I think, is super a cool twist that we haven't really seen too much in Thrones. I mean, obviously you had the High Sparrow in Thrones, but he's very different than the High Sparrow. And so I like that part. And I like the part that he hates the Targaryens, but he needs to use them. And I'm like, this guy's scheming. He's a schemer. And I feel like we needed a bit of an oomph in terms of villains in this show. We were lacking.
Well, yeah, we've had some people on the sidelines, which we can definitely talk about somebody for this episode. But before we dive into this actual episode, we were rejoined by special commentator, big fan of the stream, Jake Freeland 1424. He says, "OMG, the special guest is Connor. I had no idea." So we made it all the way to the show.
Next week.
That's cool. And congratulations for you, Haim. Congratulations on retirement from Wordle.
It's a big day for me. Not only do I get to appear on my favorite podcast, but I'm retiring from a game that I've dedicated too much time to.
Wait, you're actually retiring?
Yeah, I've done the same starting word every day for almost 1,600 days. Finally got it today. What more do I have to give?
Have you missed a single day?
Have not missed a single day.
That's crazy, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into episode 4. So, it's a slower episode by pretty much what everyone has said, but what do we make of the end of the episode, which I guess would be considered the biggest part of this, is Ormond making Daeron Targaryen, who we see kind of a little bit, I don't know what the word is, docile. Would that be the right word? Soft? I don't know if I'd say soft.
In a good way. Good, not like a bad soft.
Yeah. Maybe soft is too derogatory. I don't know. Yeah. But he makes him kill the brother of Hugh's wife, and I definitely want to get into that, but was this Haim, did you like this out of Ormond because you're an Ormond fan?
Well, I'm an Ormond fan the same way that I'm a Ramsay Bolton fan, where I'm not I don't like the guy, but he's a good villain,
Yeah.
I thought that was a great twist. Honestly, I thought when he let him go originally, I was like, oh, this guy's nice. I was like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's not actually that mean. And then he brought him back, and I was like, oh, this guy's got some fucked up shit going on in his head. So I thought that was great, honestly. And I'm curious because I mean, maybe you guys can know this. Was Daron, was he raised by Ormond and also the other Hightower? Like, he was raised by all the Hightowers, right? Even though he's squired for Ormond?
Yeah, I'm under the impression that Ormond is like his like dad who like raised him, and then I guess the cousin, what's his name, Olwyn or Orwin, I
Yeah,
think.
something like that.
I guess he kind of was there too, but yeah, that's the impression I was under. I mean, we kind of just met him last episode, and I'm sure too, like just to jump on your point about Ormond, I think you put that great that he is the secret sauce.
Thank you.
And I didn't think the episode was even that bad without him. I mean, I would say it is the worst episode of the season, but the season's
Agree.
been great so far anyway. And yeah, he's good because he's also not like Ramsay was like very like kind of one-sided as far as villains go. He was just like pure hatred, but like Ormond has like some salient points that he's making, and Darren's like claim to the throne is like, I mean, if you think about it, it's like incredibly legitimate. Like he's Viserys's son, right? So
He's
yeah,
the third after so he would be,
right.
if
And Aegon is
Tyrion
dead.
win, he
Yeah,
would be
Aegon's dead. Aemon has
third in
fled the.
line, second in line, however you put it. So
So I guess whatever. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into Aemon and whatever, but like the claim to the throne is there, and yeah, I
yeah,
think he's a great character. And also, he ended up like castrating the guy who the High Tower who like snuffed the townspeople, like the whoever the wife's Ulf's wife's, or not Ulf,
Hugh.
but Hugh's wife's family, like the guy, like he actually
Yeah.
punished that guy and he castrated, like, so he does have morals of some sort. So yeah, I think he's a great villain, and
Well,
as
that
Hyman
was
put it,
my
the secret
sort of point
sauce
that I
for
wanted to
sure.
make, was because he does that in front of like all the townspeople to see like, oh, he's a good guy, but then he brings him back when it's like dark outside and no one can see, for Darren to stab him and be like, yo, get rid of this guy. So I thought it was kind
That's
of
true.
like good by him to do that, to like save face in the public,
the good
but also
villain.
have that like, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm buying into the hype a little
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely. Like, it seems like he's setting up to be a villain. Obviously, I think the very last shot of the episode was like on his face, which means something. Like, it wasn't on Darren's face; it was on his face. So he's kind of. It seems like he'll be like the puppet master for Darren. But I think he's a little bit more than just like a one-sided villain. But I guess we'll learn more about him. And I'm sure that he spearheaded the whole swap of like not actually giving
Oh yeah,
Darren to Damon. Like, I'm sure that was his
I've seen so many memes that are
thinking,
like
you know.
Rhaenyra realizing that hair dye exists, and she's like, it's like Jace and Luke and Viserys that with like the dyed blonde hair and everything. I thought that was
bit.
funny.
Well, he's got brown hair, so
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that Ormond, he dyed the replacement Daron. That was the whole, because when Rhaenyra was piecing through his hair, I don't know if you guys picked up on that in the episode before, but I've been reading a lot on this week with Darren, kind of an interesting where there's a lot of theories that Alicent and Viserys sent him away
I was just gonna
at
say
such a young
I saw a
age
comment.
because if people found out about his hair being brown, that it would have what's what I'm looking for? It would have thrown it would have given more legitimacy
Illegitimize
to
them.
Rhaenyra's
Right.
claim because of her kids having brown hair. And so I thought that was interesting, where I was reading about all the other people that have been sent off, all the other highborns that have been sent off at birth. And it's like a very, very short list of people that were like sent off like right away. Like a lot of people, I think I was reading, like it was like Ned Stark and Robert Baratheon. They were wards, but they did it when they were like not newly born, like they were just kids. And so I thought that was interesting, where it's like there's more to this Daron guy, and I like it. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like we're looking back on this episode and be like, there was a lot of shit we learned here that was important.
It's almost opening, like, I mean, I don't have any book spoilers or anything, but like coming into the season, it like this whole new storyline that's forming, like, is just something that I didn't even expect. It's just kind of like a whole new wrench into things, and I just had no clue that they would even be a factor this season. So yeah, I think it's been great. One
Yeah, I
of my
think I
favorite
talked about
storylines,
that
not my favorite, but one of them.
on one of the episodes, how they showed in like the mid-season trailer or whatever, that it was like big Ormond time, and I was like, oh, I have no idea what goes on with this guy. So it's been exciting to see. What do you guys think is Ormond's big plan? Do you think he's trying to get Darren to the throne and then kind of be like the little finger of it all?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's the plan. Will it happen?
maybe.
It's ambitious.
I think right now it's a little hard with both Aegon and Aemon being out there.
Yeah,
because he's is third in line. Even
and
if
Rhaenyra's
yeah,
still,
well, I'm saying even if the Greens are able to like get the throne back,
yeah.
I think it's a hard challenge.
I'm assuming his whole plan here would be to be the hand of the king for Darren.
Yeah, right. He's the one just like
control
actually
everything,
being the like mouth, like saying
Yeah.
everything, but not actually being the one to carry it out. All right, well, let's keep rolling with the Ormond stuff just while we're on it. So we had the bathtub scene early on, and then we also had the crash out scene, which I've seen a lot of memes about that one of him, Darren's like, get out. I think Darren's one is like, get out of this room, and then he just freaks out. So I mean, I don't know if there's any additional comments in regards to that, but
I feel like I'm gonna like this guy as a villain. Like I'm gonna hate him, but I'm gonna love him. I think we were talking last week, Colin, and I was like, felt like they were kind of. I think my words were something along the lines of felt like they were forcing this guy into a role that he wasn't made for, and I think I'm already getting freezing cold taked. So I'm excited.
We've got more comments from the chat as well. I was very upset no Aemon in this episode. Been too long now.
We do need some Aemon updates for sure. I agree with Freeland.
It's been, I think, 2 episodes. Is that too long for you people?
I like how they do that though. They'll just like, I mean, even Thrones did that where they would just go like an episode or 2 or 3 without even showing an entire storyline. Like I think they did it with Daemon last season in similar circumstances with the whole
Daemon
witch
sucked
thing.
last
So
season. Yeah, they literally just put him on the
Yeah.
side the whole season.
Freeland also wants to shout out that dude who's in Andor too. Just shouting out Andor. Andor is goated, best Star Wars show. But I don't.
which guy was in Andor, Mr. Freeland? I forget.
Yeah, Freeland, if you're still with us, maybe some
Yeah.
color on that one. And then he hits us with the Any Day Now. Classic. We have a dynasty rookie draft going on right now. All right. So outside of that, I think outside of the Ormond and Darren whole storyline, I think the biggest part of this episode is Aegon is at the bottom of the barrel.
So funny. So funny.
What was your reaction to him having to clean the latrines, him and Larry's like giving pennies to touch his dragon?
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. I mean, this kid's like the most spoiled kid ever. And first time in his life that he's had to lift a finger. I actually thought it was really good TV. I mean, I don't really know what like the end result of it's going to be like, but for this episode in a vacuum, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's good for his like if he were to essentially come back, like I think he could actually learn a couple of things because even now when he's in like the bottom of the bottom, like should be completely like keep his mouth shut, whatever. He's still like talking back to this Janos guy who I believe we're supposed to at least acknowledge as a character because they subtitle his name. And he's like, all right, you gotta like kiss my feet, and we don't.
I thought he was going to ask him to suck his dick. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting that for Thrones. Any other show, I would not expect that to be clear, but for Thrones. Got to expect shit like that,
Yeah.
Don't worry, only feet kissing on this one.
Which actually, I just made the parallel that Laris was the big feet guy, and he just made him kiss his feet, which I don't think that'll end up being anything, but that's kind of interesting.
I like where your head's at, Connor. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
maybe. Who knows? Maybe maybe that's like foreshadowing. Laris will make him kiss his feet or something. Who knows? I don't know, but I just kind of thought of that.
I don't see it.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, what is Larry's doing though? He's like reading and doing something like with books or something.
I don't even
Yeah.
know.
I was saying before the whole Ormond thing is like one of my favorite storylines. For some reason, this Aegon Laris duo is like my favorite storyline of the season. I'm just so curious where this is gonna go, and I think they're both like great characters. And yeah, this whole hodge that they're on wherever they're going, I just think it's fascinating, and I think the storyline's very interesting. And I do actually have a funny story. Um, on Sunday night, I was at work. I was this Jay-Z concert, which I'm sure you've heard about.
Right.
I was trying to look up. I was like in the stadium while I was there. I was trying to look up like, oh, what's going on with all the people outside. My coworker said that like it's trending on Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter guy, but I go to open Twitter and I go to trending on Twitter, and Starfire was like trending on Twitter. So I spoiled the episode for myself before I could watch it, which I
Luckily,
all I could do was laugh. But I mean, it wasn't that big of a
much
spoiler,
happened.
but
Yeah, I was gonna say not too much happened. Luckily, it would have been
yeah,
crazy if Starfire was alive, and then you're like, "Fuck."
yeah. Well, she might still be. I don't know. Or do you think that was him just like coping? I don't know. What were your
I
thoughts
think
on
that
it?
was him just coping. Honestly,
I think there's a chance because I don't like. I feel like they went too hard, like showing, like just from like an editing perspective. I feel like they went too hard, like showing us. I think there's still a chance. I don't know how, but it's like it's dragons.
Would be big for the Greens. Would be big for the Greens.
Yeah, they have nothing. Like Jassarian, I mean, that's Darren's dragon didn't look too big in the
No.
cave. Helena like refuses to fly her dragon, and then you have Aemond doing whatever he wants to do, obviously. But
I have a Helena theory.
okay,
I've been saving this for the pod, but obviously it seems like she's pregnant.
Yeah,
And it's going to be one of her brothers, Aemond or Aegon, probably Aemond because Aegon has been ridden and scarred. My theory, and I'm just going to say a theory. I don't have any spoilers to be clear, so this is not like a spoiler.
none of us have any books
Yeah.
spoilers, so we're good on that end. This
My
is all just pure
theory
theories.
is that Rhaenyra is going to find out that she's pregnant, is going to be forced to kill her because of the fact that it would be contested heir to the throne.
wow.
And then that's going to be like a big storyline of like the small folk turning against Rhaenyra because Helena is so loved by the small folk.
Wow. I like that.
That's
And
big brain.
I bet you it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be like a public execution death, but like obviously, I don't know if Rhaenyra's even gonna be the one to do it, but obviously gonna be the one to order it. Damon's probably gonna be like, Rhaenyra, you gotta do it because like you gotta, legitimacy and stuff. So, but that's my like big prediction for this season.
To add on to that theory, maybe she does it in secrecy to prevent that, but then Ulf like goes to the bars and like tells everyone when he's drunk, because he's like the vessel to the people, it seems.
I like that
So,
comment.
yeah,
But
maybe
Interesting.
Something's gonna happen with
building
Ulf.
something
I don't know
here.
what it is, but something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think
Ulf's
it'll be
out
good.
of there, bro. I feel like every episode we get like a small hint of like he wants a castle and Rhaenyra's not willing to give it to him. He wants to be called a Targaryen. Rhaenyra's not willing to give it to him. And now she just completely shuts him down drinking, which is like the only thing he like likes to do that we see on like the screen, really, and like hang out with his friends at the bar. He probably gets a sense of pride of being like in that tavern and being the dragon rider, Ulf the dragon rider, or whatever. I don't know. I feel like something's going to shift here in the next couple episodes, or maybe at the end of the season, where like Ulf turns, and then all of a sudden,
An Alan moment this episode where Alan was kind of boysing it out with Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
There's actually, I'm looking at my notes for this episode. There's actually a ton of shit that happened, so you might be right on that. Like there was a bunch of stuff that happened. We're just not gonna remember it.
Where was Where was Alan's dad going? I know he was with kind of like a battalion. Where were they going? I forget that.
I think he was just going to battle. Like I don't know if they told us specifically where he was going, but he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna like go and like fight.
Right. Find Aemond or something. Or...
Yeah, he's like, I need revenge on my own or something.
Right. Interesting.
We have an update, text update from Freeland. He's talking about this guy.
I don't remember that. I'm not gonna lie.
He's Ormond's like.
Who was he in
command.
Andor?
Wasn't
he the guy who tried to rape someone?
Whoa.
Didn't he try to like rape Helena?
He says he's friends. No, that's a different guy. That's Jasper.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I think they killed him at the end of the episode.
He was beheaded the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Under Hightower. I'm blanking.
Yeah, and this guy was Cassian's boy in Andor. That's right.
Okay, yeah, I remember that a little bit now. All right, well, let's shift the focus back to the King's Landing. We had a couple of. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to is there any other possible theory for Helena? Is she really like? Is there anything else that could be that
All I
moment?
got. That's all I got.
Yeah, what's the whole timeline with the battle of, I forget what it was, but the big battle last season where Aegon like
Rook's
got
Rest.
fucked? Rooks. What's the timeline between that battle and like now? Because like, could it be Aegon's son? I thought at first it might be Aemon's, but like they
I
haven't
feel
really
like it's,
hinted to Aemon raping his own sister. Not that it's out of the question, but I feel like they would have hinted at it once or twice, maybe if it was
I feel like it's
that.
been, my guess would be a few months, maybe a little bit more, maybe 6 months.
So it like could be
I'd say
Aegon's.
between
It's
3 to
either
6
one of
months.
them.
Yeah. If it's 3 months, could easily be Aegon. If it's 6 months, it's probably Aemond.
My theory, or not even theory, but hope is that it's like some random person.
Your hope, bro. What?
I
Why
don't
are you
know.
hoping for that?
Why not? I want her to have an incestuous child.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thrones, man. The only time you can root for incest. Clip farm that.
All right, yeah, you're getting canceled, buddy. All right, well, yeah, I really don't know what that moment is if she's not pregnant, so I don't know. We'll move on. So with Rhaenyra, this moment I definitely want to touch on is the end of the episode when Ulf also has a big moment. He comes in and says they're shitting on you on the walls. They're saying your sons are bastards, queen of bastards. I don't even know how many kids are left. It's so hard to keep track of the kids. I think she has Joffrey.
She has Joffrey, and then she has Aegon and another kid that's out in Pentos.
So do those kids have the blonde hair and their father is Daemon or
black hair and
Okay.
blonde hair?
So the one son is through, Harwin Strong.
Joffrey's like a baby, right?
Yes.
Joffrey's the one who's
he's not a baby. Joffrey's black hair.
Joffrey, his twin brother was the one who Daemon killed like at the beginning of last season. Remember when he like snuck into King's Landing and like killed the baby?
No, Joffrey is Rhaenyra's side. The baby you're thinking
there might be a Joffrey on both sides.
You're right.
Anyways, when Ulf's telling them, there's stuff on the walls and you have the gold cloaks go out in the city, and a big point, I mean, Hyman, we talk about this through every episode, it feels like the small folk are like a big part of this whole, like, who picks or who likes the queen or king or whatever, and they're getting thrown out in the streets, they're like basically just accusing a guy who doesn't admit to doing it at all. I think this is going to be a bad look for Team Black. It's starting to get a little rough in the streets. Like they got them the food, I guess, and Daemon got that like bag of gold, which we can talk about. But it's starting to really downfall for Rhaenyra, and it's been early. But
yeah, she ain't built for this. She ain't built to lead, bro.
It's tough, and her giving all of like the money to the City Watch is kind of interesting. Like I'm surprised that she kind of bent the knee to Daemon, if you will, there. And then you saw what happened is that they went on a rampage.
How about our new master of coin, Manderly from
raise a tax, he said. You hear that?
Yeah,
he was like, how about we raise the tax? And no one listened to him.
He's from Walking Dead, like season 10.
Oh yeah. A possible theory on how Ulf was the one who told Rhaenyra about the common folk, and then she went and got everyone killed. Like maybe if he goes back to the bars, he'll realize that a lot of like his friends were the ones that were killed, or like something, or like maybe like his friends will get mad at him that like, oh, like my wife was killed, or like, oh, that was my son who you killed, or whatever. I don't know. That might be something. Just kind of.
I like it.
The boiling point coming for Ulf. Yeah,
something's gonna happen. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah, I think the question is like, it's not even like, is Ulf gonna fuck them over? It's like, how bad is he gonna fuck them over?
Yeah,
and like he decides to do whatever he's gonna do. So I'm curious to see that as well. Another big part, a lot of us love Daemon out there. How about the fake head he brings?
That was crazy.
I actually really like that out of Daemon because I feel like he hasn't stood up for his kids at all, really. So to see him have Rhaenyra's back and protect, and I'd love to hear you guys' theories on what's going to happen with Rhaenyra and Sheepstealer. But I did like this out of Daemon.
Chaos.
And what?
My theory is chaos.
Okay. Well, I actually thought this was like a pretty grounded moment for Damon, who's like usually like crazy, like go for the kill, blah blah blah. And I'm surprised he let it happen, but I am super glad that he did because we get, I think Rhaena might come in clutch later. But that might be my theory if she comes in. You don't think so?
I think I think it's gonna be. I think this drives Damon and Rhaenyra apart when inevitably Rhaenyra finds out. And I mean, she's inevitably going to find out because she thinks that Rhaena is in Pentos with her two sons of Damon's, because it's supposed to be her two kids of Damon and Rhaena, because that's also Damon's kid. They're supposed to be in Pentos when eventually she's going to find out that she's not there, one way or another. When that happens, I think it's only a matter of time before the pieces get put together, and then at that point, she's going to be like, Damon, who is the head that you brought? And then she's going to be like, you knew that Rhaena was the one who rode Sheep Stealer. And I think it's probably going to lead to Rhaenyra even having less allies in her corner.
And it seems like Masseria, it's like she kind of knows what's up, so she might use that against Damon, kind of hold that against him as blackmail or something. Like, oh, I can just go tell Rhaenyra that's not whoever that was.
Yeah, I wouldn't say for sure, but she
yeah.
was like very investigative. Like, who was that on?
Yeah.
She's a smart cookie, so who knows? But the thing that worries me is I don't think Rhaena's gonna be able to keep herself on the sidelines. Like, I feel like she's gonna do something stupid to get back in there, and then But I think Sheep Stealer might turn good. I don't know.
And where's Baela? Isn't she still alive?
Yeah, she's her
daughter.
She wasn't in this episode, but she was at dinner with the Valarians last episode with Alan and Adam and Corlys.
Okay.
And then I think Alan was like,
she was in this episode. Didn't she walk by? Didn't Rhaenyra walk by her in the halls of the Red Keep?
I think that was last episode when Rhaenyra was like having her crash out, but it could have been this episode.
Yeah, when she was like tight at her. Yeah.
But I think Alan was like wasn't Alan trying to like get in there with her to like, since she was married to.
I missed that.
Just for sure. I might have just misread something online, but she's around. She's
supposed to be wed to Jace, but I don't think they got married.
Oh, okay, I thought they were. Anyways, any other thoughts on Daemon, Caraxes, Caraxes and Sheep Stealer definitely will not be getting along if they're to run into each other again. Daemon's dragon.
I was worried Daemon was going to die there. Honestly, glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, that was a cool scene. I like the Vale. Good vibes there.
Yeah, it was cool seeing the Vale like in a different setting, because I feel like
not just like the tower, but we saw kind of the whole biome, if you will.
I want to I feel like they should just do a spin-off one series 5-episode show on the Vale. I want to know more about it. It seems like I liked it. I thought that was a good Daemon quick thing. I mean, clearly there's going to be some massive repercussions from that.
I think Rhaena was very lucky there.
What do you think about
knowing Daemon and his past? I think she was pretty lucky.
What do you think about her new look with the seems like her hair is lopped off?
It was a look.
It was a look. I think it's definitely something else is going to happen this season. Do you guys watch the next time on or the?
No, I do not do that ever.
No. I won't spoil them. Okay, yes. A couple more things to talk about. So obviously we had the intro to the episode. Ormond's people moving into Tumbleton, the soldiers and the lodging. Obviously, Hugh's wife is in trouble. Any further time? I know we said maybe something will happen with Hugh and his wife. Do you think we see him parked on the edge of town right over there? Do you think something possibly is going to go down soon, or is this going to be him and Ulf shifting? I guess of who goes there.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know what is I don't have a prediction yet.
I've always said Ulf is definitely going to turn, but I feel like Hugh might just do something
He's
rash.
A good dude.
Yeah, he might just go all in to save his wife and then die.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be one of those things where we all think Ulf will do something stupid first, but then maybe Hugh will do something first because he realizes his wife or whatever.
Rescue his wife, and they lose a dragon because of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a dumb thought, but at the beginning of the episode when they all had to move in 3 people into one house, I didn't even realize that for probably every battle that's being fought or every war that happens. So I was like, oh shit, these people Must be.
And like
It must be.
quartering.
Yeah, it must be so
Bro,
fucking.
It's the Third Amendment of the United States, dude.
I'm sorry. It must be so fucking awful to be a citizen in one of these freaking.
Yeah, well, that's why it's the third. It made the top 5, bro.
What is that's facts that
Yeah,
people that's probably the most slept on amendment, at least
for
in the
sure.
top like 4. What's the whole deal with Tumbleton? Like how far away is it from King's Landing and
I
why
read
is
this
it
today.
like the
130 kilometers, roughly.
that's not that far?
I think
Is
it's
that far?
supposed to be very close, I think.
Close, right? Yeah. And what's the whole like why is it like the key point? Is it just because
I don't know if it's a key. I think
don't-
it's only key because the High Tower is just decided.
the High Towers kind of took it over?
Part of High Garden, so it's in the same land that like the Tyrells lead.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's clearly a very like highbrow place. It was cool seeing the people from that town. It's always cool seeing like the new towns in Westeros, you know.
But I think it's more like the fact that Ormond had the guts to go take over a place, even though he surrendered, is the big.
Right. Where's King's Landing then compared to this picture?
It's right here. It's this big
Thanks.
circle.
I see. Oh, okay. So very close then. Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a little geography. I never will be able to figure it out. I just know the north is the Starks. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wrapping up, we did get to spend some time with Kristen Cole this episode. Can someone explain to me what happened with Kristen Cole?
Just end his storyline. It's honestly it's painful at this point. He's given nothing to the story in like it's over a season probably at this point. So
and he's the only character in the whole show that just like hasn't aged at all.
Yeah,
it's been like 30 years. He's been the same age for 30 years. But,
and he's just like a Debbie Downer, like, and he's not even like a fun Debbie Downer. Honestly, he's useless right now. I'll probably be freezing cold Tate in like 2 weeks when he does something cool, but yeah, I'm over him.
He seems like the guy that's like just there for them to show like, oh shit, the dragons are so real and like bigger than life. Because every time he like tries to lead an army, it's just like he's like, oh fuck, you know.
Yeah,
but he's trying to go one man against 20 was my interpretation. It's like we're outmanned 20-1, but like let's fucking go anyway. Is that what?
He's useless.
Well, he is Aemon's. Is he still hand to the king? Technically, well, yeah. I guess they're not in power right now, but
wow, yeah, and I guess they just realized that from the witch that. Or whatever, yeah, and that's why he's like crashing out now. Yeah, he definitely was a good character in the first 2 seasons, first season and a half, but like now it's kind of just like, all right, what's the end game here with him?
He's been useless.
Yeah.
Let's make a prediction for Kristen Cole's death. How do you think he goes out? I say either blown up by a dragon or Daemon kills him.
I don't care how he died. I would say blown up by a dragon.
Yeah, I could see maybe a duel with Daemon or a duel of some sort because I know he's a big swords guy. But then again, yeah, I know he has a whole thing with dragons as well. I feel like his death will be pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, it doesn't make it to season 4. It would have been cool if Rhaenyra's kids lived because he like was fucking with them when they were training as kids. If like one of them grew up and killed him, but I guess that's how the picture is. Joffrey grows up. Yeah, Joffrey at like 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's possible. And then the last thing was Alan. I know we kind of briefly touched on it, but you know we're big Alan supporters, so he gets his
unlikely friendship coming with him and Rhaenyra. He's like, what was his scene? It was about the rats. They were talking about the rats.
Oh, the cats.
Cats. Yeah. I liked that. I feel like that was like a cute like.
I'm Team Alan right now. Like he's one of my favorite characters.
Rhaenyra's probably like, oh shit, this guy's actually knows what he's talking about. So. I thought that was a good scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene. And like the scene all built up and it was kind of slow. And then as soon as he's like, oh, we just use cats, like the scene just like ended right there before you could even like realize what he said. It just like goes to the next scene, which like Thrones kind of does that a lot. Like when what's his face in Game of Thrones like jumped off when the king jumped off the thing and Tommen jumped off, and then before you could even compute that, it just like goes to the next scene. You know, obviously not as big as that.
I was a Tommen fan.
Yeah.
Underrated.
That was also my favorite episode in all of Game of Thrones.
Fantastic
episode 10. Yeah,
I think that's my second favorite.
the piano playing for the first like 10 minutes.
That was awesome. I had my friends who had watched Game of Thrones, and they came over and we watched Battle of the Bastards, done that episode back to back. So
Yeah,
Battle of the Bastards is peak for me.
Blackwater too.
Blackwater.
I love the Watchers on the Wall. That's my favorite.
Is that 4?
Great.
That's when it's just Jon
4
Snow and
times.
them fighting
Yeah.
off the.
That's a
Yeah.
great episode.
Hardhome.
Yeah, that's a
Sorry.
great one.
We'll continue.
So many great ones.
Back to House of the Dragon. Anything I missed that you guys wanted to go over before we get to our
Let's get to it.
con? Okay.
All good.
All right. We start off with the biggest winner of episode 4. So this is kind of up for interpretation. We'll kick it to you as this is your first time here. Who do you think was the biggest winner in episode 4?
Are we doing biggest winner, and then are we also doing a favorite character segment?
We're going biggest winner, biggest loser, then favorite, least favorite.
Okay. Biggest winner, I think probably Alan. I think he's really, and I don't even think he might not even realize it yet, but he's kind of climbing up the ranks very quickly. I also think, one, we only get one. I'll say Alan. Alan as my biggest
We
winner.
can say one, and then we'll all give our honorable mentions.
Okay.
Haim, did you have the same thought?
No, I would say I do like Alan as a good call. I don't want to downplay it. It's a great call. But I would say my biggest winner would be. I know I've had like 2 days to think on this. I would say my biggest winner would be. I'll say Rhaenyra, because it could have gone a lot worse with her.
She's alive. Like, that's much more than you could ask for.
And to not be killed or sold out in that moment is probably the best you could ask for. Lives to see another day.
So both my honorable mentions you guys brought up, but I actually gave the biggest winner to Ormond. I feel like he does have some tough moments, but if he has Daeron Targaryen doing exactly what he wants, that can go a long way, especially if he's like saying, stab this person. Darren's like this like reserved kid. Now he's gonna be like out there, doing this crazy shit for him. He has a dragon and the heir to the throne with Aemon and Aegon missing. So I feel like this was a big Ormond episode, and we see he has a big army as well. So we'll have to see what happens between him, his brother, and Chris and Cole's army, and then the people still stuck in King's Landing. But I thought this was a good episode for Ormond overall. We now go to biggest loser. Haim, we'll start with you this time. Who do you think was the biggest loser of this episode?
I don't know if I'd say it's the biggest loser in this episode, but Helena, count your days, girl. You're about to get killed.
That was not on mine at all.
I could be wrong, but that 10-second scene, man, that told a story in itself. Yeah, she's a goner. Sorry, it was good knowing you. Peace.
I had Aegon. I feel like his story is definitely meant to be on the come up, but this is the lowest of the lows. Like, I can't imagine that even like 6 months ago. Yeah, 6 months ago, he was imagining ever having to do any of like one thing that he did in this episode by himself. So I just had him as the biggest loser because I feel like this was like a huge hit to his ego, and we know he's like very prideful and very bombastic. So I thought this was just an overall losing moment for him. Con?
Yeah. Before that, I would say my honorable mention for the biggest winner was going to be Rhaenyra for the exact reasons that Hyman said. So nice. I salute your choice there. And my biggest loser, I think is Daeron, because he doesn't want this at all, and he just was forced to kill someone, and now he's gonna be put in a position that he had no clue was coming. So I think he's the biggest loser. Yeah, although I like your choices as well.
Solid. This is interesting. All different choices so far. All right, we go to the favorite character of episode 4. Mine's a little off the beaten path, but I did talk about this during our recap. I gave it to Daemon just because I feel like this is a moment of character development that I never thought I would see. I thought for sure like something bad was going to happen with Rhaenyra, and to see him, keep her out there and come back and like do this whole scheme. It's classic Daemon, but it's also him being like having a soul and like looking out for his daughters. Like I mentioned, he doesn't really look out for his kids at all. So just from being a Daemon fan, I feel like I've skimmed down on him being the favorite probably in a couple of these episodes. I gave it to him this one in kind of a slower episode. Con, we're back to you.
My favorite character, I would probably go Ormond because he surprised me, and at the end I was just like, hell yeah, like this is sick. There's just like a whole nother um like story brewing here with this new king and everything. Like I think, yeah, I mean Ormond was pretty sick. Favorite character of the episode was him, and I don't even think I knew who he was before this episode. So just goes to show.
I think I could quote word for word Connor on my reasons why Ormond would be my favorite character.
Nice.
I literally, like, last week, I'm almost positive I said, I feel like Thrones is trying to shove this guy down our throat as like a fake villain, and I could not have been more wrong after one episode. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I feel like there's like some really good potential here. I hope they don't blow it.
All
Yes,
right.
I hope they don't blow it.
Yeah.
I feel like just this episode was like enough. Like even if he goes out in like a crazy, I feel like there's so many characters in the show that, like, I mean, you can ask for more,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's even if he goes out next episode in like a blaze of glory, it'll be worth what we
Yeah,
got.
even if it's like next episode that it happens, like it's still like, hey, like that's it. Or even if he survives for until the end of this show, like
It
I
could
think
be a
this
3-episode
episode,
arc of him
yeah.
doing the steal with Darren, then his crash out episode, and then whatever happens next episode, we'll have to see what happens. Least favorite character of episode 4. We're back to you, Khan. Who'd you like the least this episode?
I don't know. Least favorite. If any of you have an answer, you can go. I'll try to
You
think.
got one?
Ulf can go, bro. I mean, there's a lot of characters that can go, but I feel like he pisses me off. Yeah, see ya, bye. It was him and Kristen Cole. They can go, like, they can die next episode.
I gave it to Ormond.
Wow. Whoa, bro. Whoa.
I don't like villains. Maybe I'm a crazy guy, but I was like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like that stuff of him turning Darren from this like innocent kid into this like cold-blooded killer. I know it's Thrones.
That's what we do with you. We turned you from this innocent kid into
listen.
the machine.
Listen, bro. I didn't like the crash out. I thought he was kind of obnoxious in the bat scene, and then for him to pull the fake operation with like the look in front of the citizens, I wasn't messing with all that. I'm not an Ormond Hightower fan. Just from like I'm
not a fan, to be clear.
I respect it. Like the way I always do my tier list is like character means two different things, because like I'll put Cersei in S tier. It means I hate her guts, but she's such a good character, so it's really open for interpretation. But I didn't like Ormond this episode, but I appreciate what he gave on the screen. But just from personal, I didn't like what he was doing. Khan, did you come up with one?
Yeah, I do want to mention, I don't think we've mentioned her at all this episode, and she's literally one of like the 3 main characters in the entire show is Alicent. I don't know if she's my least favorite character of the episode, but I think she actually might have a case for what was it, like luckiest character or whatever we said before.
Biggest winner,
biggest winner. She might have a case for biggest winner, because I mean, Rhaenyra sees value in her now, and they're kind of getting their friendship back, as weird as it seems. They're back in their old stomping grounds and everything, and I think Alicent is pretty fortunate to be in the position she's in, and she can also kind of give Rhaenyra intel, so there's no reason to kill her. I guess you could say she's least favorite just because like she's kind of been the same exact character. I don't want to say that, but not that she's been the same exact character for the past couple seasons, but this is just kind of what she does at this point. She just kind of like is a figurehead who's trying to like find her place. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should have maybe mentioned more Alicent, but I mean, I guess she didn't do much this episode, but she is lucky to be alive still, and it's interesting to see what'll happen next with her.
I'm trying to remember when she was in the show besides the Alicent. I mean, besides the Helena scene, at least this week. But
yeah,
it's a good shout, because I feel like
she's
I feel like Alicent's story is very much involved in this whole, like, it's one of the sadder parts of the story that we've seen.
Yeah, and I don't think she'll be going anywhere. You know, like she seems like a mainstay, but you never know with the show.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's an episode. Final thoughts on episode 4, or other things that need to be said outside of the pod?
The worst of the season, but I was still a fan.
We're halfway through. Now, I did want to call this out.
Oh, there's 8?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Season 2, episode 4 was when Mealy's, and when that was the big moment when Aegon gets burned. Big episode, and then it kind of was like the reverse here. We started off with the big moment of Jace, and then now we're kind of not in a lull, but like in a slower part of the season. So I'm curious to see how it ends out. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there was only going to be 4 seasons, so I feel like there's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, a lot to finish.
Yeah, so I feel like we're in for a good rest of the season, and I'm curious to see what happens. So
I agree. I'm excited. It was a good episode, I thought, and I'm excited for what's next. It was a very much classic, like if you go back to Game of Thrones, like in episode 4, whereas like episode 1 and 2 of this season were a lot like episodes like 8 and 9 of like a normal Thrones season, where like that's all the action and all the war, and then like the next episode is kind of like the post-mortem of what happened. But I think this episode was kind of great, setting the stage for the rest of the season. Good app.
Last question. You know, a lot of people have been saying the dialogue has been lacking. Did you guys notice an uptick in dialogue this episode?
I thought it was better
because there was not a lot of just like action rah on the screen.
Yeah, I thought it was way better.
I thought
some good dialogue,
some good stuff.
Yeah, I think Laris is always good for some good dialogue, and Alan and those guys are always good for some good dialogue moments. Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right. Can we expect you to be back with us next week, Con?
Yeah, I would love to come back.
All right, we'll make it work.
I think, probably like 80-90% chance. We'll try to make it work. Yeah.
At least come back once or twice before the season ends.
Of course.
And it's open invites.
We'll be in
touch.
touch.
This. Yeah. All right.
Freeland
can join.
Freeland's next.
I don't know if he can join because of his. Some people are worried about their job. I don't know how it works with his, but. All right. Well, we'll leave it with that.
Knows.
I don't know. I feel like that's the reason why people, whatever. Silo, season 3. See you guys there, and then see you next week for episode 5 in the second half of House of the Dragon, season 3.